Your reasons for listening to the show, well, those are your own. But just keep in mind that the views, information, or opinions expressed on the Tuddle Daily Podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of our sponsors. Yeah, it's called free speech, people. Nobody's forcing you to listen. One-of-a-kind shades made to order by VaporShades.com. Vapor Shades designs the outer layer of the sunglasses just like a wrap on a car. They customize your sunglasses, marbling the paint. The end result is no two pair of sunglasses are alike. Yours will be completely unique to you. Check us out at VaporShades.com. Use promo code Tuddle for 15% off your entire order. Get ready for your daily dose of Tuddle.
The all-time greatest intern/producer we've ever had, of course, Tuddle. Tuddle in Florida.
From the Vapor Shades Hobo Fish Camp, it's the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
Anarchy! Anarchy! Anarchy!
No wonder nobody likes you, Tuddle. Everything's a goddamn debate.
Welcome to another edition of the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. I want to start off the show wishing my parents a happy 47th anniversary. Now, I got a question. I've been talking about my dad getting older, not remembering things. Do I look out for my dad? Because I don't think he's going to remember. I really do not think, because he's still sleeping right now. My mom is up. And she had mentioned, like, oh, yeah, today is our 47th anniversary. I've never been good at that. I really have never, ever been able to keep up with my parents' anniversary. But I think 47 years is absolutely amazing. I mean, mine didn't even last a little over 10 years. And I just don't understand how some people do it. Is it just old school, old ways and stuff? But the question is, I want to know from you. Do I give my dad a heads up? Like, make sure I'm there when he gets up and I kind of like give him the signal, whisper in his ear, hey, Dad, by the way, today is you and Mom's 47th anniversary. So make sure you at least say something. I mean, they have never been the couple that does something on their anniversary. They've never been that way. My dad used to do it as a joke, like on Valentine's Day or birthday. Because cards are such a waste of money sometimes. And he would take her to, like, the Winn-Dixie, go to the card section, have her pick one out, read it, and then be like, all right, happy anniversary, happy Valentine's Day. I know in most relationships, that would be a big no-no. That would be a really big heat getter. But for some reason, it's like their little thing that they did. So I think I am. I'm gonna stay close by. That's why I'm trying to get this podcast, because I want to be there when my dad gets up. He's like, hey, Dad, 47. He's like, what the hell's 47? No, it's your 47th wedding anniversary, and you better make sure when you get out there, you wish Mom a happy 47th anniversary. Check out my website, Tuddle.net. That's Tuddle with two Ds, Tuddle. When you go there, you're going to be able to find any place that I am online. There's a couple of ways you can get a hold of me as well, too, guys. You can email me, Tuddle@gmail.com, or you can leave me a voicemail, 407-270-3044. Once again, that is 407-270-3044. Look, don't get me wrong. It is courteous to pick up dog poop when you're out walking your dog. I've just never been that person. I'm one of those assholes that will just leave it. But I've always had small dogs. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I had Chihuahuas when I was married. I was dog sitting my mom's friend Louise's dog, Izzy, the little Shih Tzu, and they don't poop a lot. I'm telling you right now, if it's just some pebbles, I'm not picking it up. And I also got to tell you, if I had a big dog and it was out in the middle of nowhere in a neighborhood in a field or something, I'm not picking it up. I have a hard time picking up dog shit. I just really, really do. And in this next audio clip that I'm about to play for you, I guess this one neighbor got tired. Everybody has Ring doorbells now, and I guess he just got tired of this woman letting her dog shit on his front yard. And it's actually kind of funny, but I'm gonna take a little bit of a different angle on this, especially after what happened last week in Pennsylvania with the double murder. But here, I'll let you listen to some of this. It's actually kind of funny, but it could have went sideways really quickly.
Stop letting your dog shit on our lawn!
Clean up your dog poop. Excuse me, ma'am.
All right, let me set the scene on this. This is at night. I don't know exactly what time it is, but this asshole has a bullhorn. I mean, they're both assholes, because I'm telling you, if I'm the other neighbors and this guy is blowing a bullhorn and an air horn at night while I'm maybe trying to relax, eat dinner. Yeah, I know it sucks that the lady is letting a dog crap on your front yard, but think about all the other people. And once again, this stuff can easily escalate. I mean, do you guys forget the audio that I played last week?
You're a pussy. Fuck you. Pussy.
Go ahead! Go ahead! Go ahead! Go ahead!
Call the cops. Call the cops.
What I just played for you was audio from last week's double homicide that happened up in Pennsylvania. And this is why you never know what people are going through, what they're dealing with in their life. They've been cooped up during this pandemic, and they are just ready to snap.
Hey, you, clean up your dog poop. Stop letting your dog poop on my lawn. I have you on video. Come pick up this nice pile of shit that your dog left in my yard.
I'm pretty sure the guy was safe because this was an older lady, but who knows? I don't even know where this was at. If this was Florida, anybody could be carrying a gun. What if while he was doing this, a woman just reached in her waistband and just started capping the fool with the megaphone?
I've been waiting for you for 2 days. You. Disgusting. Disgusting. Look at it. I have children here.
Hey, buddy, what does having kids have anything to do with dog poop? Yeah, it sucks that your kids might be playing outside and step in some dog crap. We've all done that as kids. I mean, you got a whole different situation of problems if your kids don't know to stay away from poop or they're playing with it. Yeah, you might want to worry about that than letting this woman shit on your front yard.
That's your dog. Please pick it up. This will be every day. I will watch you every day. I have you on video. Pick up after your dog. Please pick up after your dog. Please pick up after your dog. Thank you for picking up the feces from my yard. I appreciate it greatly.
You know, some people pay good money to have poop and get manure. It's great fertilizer, man. The only thing that sucks, and I've done this before, because we had outside dogs and they just crapped everywhere. When you're out mowing the lawn, it's kind of cool, though, when you run over a piece of dog crap, especially a big steaming pile of it, because we had Rottweilers back in the day growing up, and they would just leave it. And when you would hit that, it would just, I remember one time I had to clean up the side of the house because I ran over some, and it just sprayed diarrhea all over the side of our trailer. And man, my dad was pissed. But like I said, if I was this woman, I'd be like, I'm sorry. I was just trying to do you a favor. Your lawn was looking a little brown. Thought it could use some fertilizer, my friend.
Greatly appreciate it. Please leave my yard. You're trespassing. Get off my yard, you and your dog. Thank you very much. Thank you for being a courteous neighbor.
Now that I'm looking at this, I don't really think the guy cared too much about the dog crapping on the front yard. I think this is a case of everybody wanted to be TikTok famous. Everybody wanted to be Instagram famous. Everybody wanted to be YouTube famous. Everybody wants to go viral. And this guy's talking about being courteous. I mean, this is a neighborhood where all those houses are like right up against each other, very small lot sizes. And this guy wants to talk about being courteous? What about all the other neighbors right now? Did you really have to use a megaphone? You're dog shit shaming this woman, but you're also disturbing your neighbors. It just does not make sense. This guy could have handled this in a completely different way, but no, he wanted to go viral.
Thank you for picking up your dog feces, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, guys, need to take a quick break. I know that I'm going to break early, but I have a great interview on the other side of the break. It's with a guy named Buck. Buck is from Ireland, and he wrote a book. He went to 6 countries and did the drugs that those countries are associated with. And it's kind of a fascinating interview. This was right after he got divorced or broke up, had a bad breakup. This is something he wanted to do, and I got to tell you, it's a great idea. Sounds like a lot of fun, and you'll be able to hear all about it right after the break. You are listening to the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
He's a nerd,
I've only been arrested one time.
a radio personality,
Professionally, I'm not in the best position that I've ever been in.
and hot talk satirizer.
You would think with everything that's going on, a Caucasian like myself wouldn't be able to randomly talk to an African American or a minority.
You're listening to the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Wish you could have just flown and had your vehicle arrive a day or two later so you can enjoy more time doing what's important to you? Well, you can. Just give Starfire Transport a call. Let the professionals do the driving while you're flying. Starfire Transport specializes in RV and auto transport. They'll also haul watercraft from boats to PWCs, cargo trailers, and more. Service available throughout the continental United States. So don't wait. Call Brian today at 574-349-4193 or 989-751-6106 for your next move. 10% off for veterans past or present. Also, make sure to tell them Tuddle sent you for an additional discount. That's Starfire Transport. Do you have something you want to say?
Hey, what kind of preacher is you?
Leave Tuddle a voicemail,
Cause you're kind of ignorant.
especially if you think he's being an asshole.
No-legged bitch.
Will your hurtful comments offend Tuddle?
No, baby.
Call the show at 407-270-3044.
No, baby.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Tuddle Daily Podcast. My producer, Vulture, has been getting me a lot of amazing guests. And I know a lot of my audience, especially here in the United States, because I've worked on radio for a while, and most of the interviews you hear on radio are with celebrities. And for the most part, I mean, that's what people want to hear. But are the celebrities being real with you? I mean, they pretty much control the narrative. They're not going to tell you the truth. Unlike my next guest, because I do it as well, too. That's how you connect with your audience. But Buck is calling me from Ireland. Now, Buck, how are you, my friend?
Just wonderful. How are
Now,
you today?
I'm doing wonderful, but I gotta start off, okay? I'm not saying it's true or false, but I have never heard of an Irishman with the name Buck. Is that a made up name, or is Buck a popular name in Ireland?
It's a pretend internet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hey, man, listen, my real name's not Tuddle. It's Patrick. And guess what? Patrick is the most Irish name that you can
It
ever
is
find.
The most Irish name. It is.
Yeah,
indeed.
exactly. Now, Buck, before we get into the interview, because I have so many questions, tell people how they can check out your podcast, your book, any of the content and stuff that you have out there. You have the floor, my friend.
Well, I'm currently, so I am on here now today to talk about my book just released called Adventures on Drugs. It is,
And that was the seller for me, by the way. That was the big selling point for why I was like, yes, I got to talk to Buck.
The book is, for the majority of my life, have been teetotal. So taking no alcohol or any other mind-altering substances. Then after a breakup, and sort of, out of the ether came this idea to write a book where I'd travel to.
Oh man, whoa. Hold on. All right, buddy. Like I'm pretty good at accents, but you just lost me there for about 3 or 4 seconds because it was like rah rah rah.
I'll try to.
Now
slow down.
dude, I'm busting balls. That's all. I'm just saying. Listen, for the most part, I can get it. I love the Irish accent. So I mean, just talk. It's like ASMR for me.
Yeah, that's no bother. So I thought for the purposes of this book, Adventures on Drugs, I could travel to 6 different countries and try the 6 drugs they are associated with for the first time.
Brilliant, my friend.
So I first trip is to Colombia.
All right. So can I guess? I already know Colombia is cocaine, correct? Got to be,
yes.
right? So
obviously.
All right. So now I've done cocaine here in the United States before. Okay. But I'm sure that it's been stomped, it's been smashed on, it's been cut with all types of stuff. I'm sure the Colombian cocaine just absolutely blows your mind.
Yeah. I mean, like, I never done it before. I haven't done it since. So I've really very little to compare it to. But it was.
Dude, you got to have a base test here. I mean, you need to test some Irish cocaine out before you get to Colombia, and you need to be able to have something to compare it to. See, that's what you need to do, okay? You do a second version of the book, but you do those same drugs, but you never leave Ireland, and you want to see what type of stuff that I'm being dead honest. I think it would be great.
There could be a blog entry maybe afterwards. Some follow-ups to compare it to.
So all right, so walk me through this, okay? Now, you had to stand out like a sore thumb in Colombia, right? Like, I mean,
predominantly stayed in the touristy areas. So,
how do you score cocaine in Colombia in the touristy areas, though? Did they just come to you?
It's everywhere. I was, oh yeah, well, as it ended up happening, I not to give too much away, but I'm walking past a bar, and out of nowhere, I hear a woman's voice go, "Cocaine?" I turn around, and it's the bouncer at a bar.
Wait, a woman bouncer?
A woman bouncer. She's just standing at the door, and she just offers me cocaine. Okay, and I went, okay, there. That's sort of that. But no, it was pretty unsurprisingly. It's pretty much everywhere in Colombia.
Now, can I ask you? Okay, so 2 questions. One being, what does a Colombian female bouncer look like? And number 2, like in Venezuela, where they have a lot of gasoline, a lot of oil and stuff, they say the gas prices are cheap as hell. Like, is the market so flooded in Colombia that it's actually a pretty decent price?
I ended up not buying it. It was I didn't pay for it. It was the girl who I was with ended up paying for it, which seems like really.
That makes you a pimp. That makes you. I'm just being honest. If you can get your chick to pay for your drugs, I mean, that's pretty. That's pretty damn cool as hell.
Yeah, it's just adding to my coolness. But so I wasn't totally sure. I really should have checked. But I know she had the cash, but from what I understood, it was very little.
Okay.
But
so where do you go? So where do you go next? Okay. Now, all right. So let me back up though. So that was the first time you trying cocaine. Tell me what your experience was. Did you like the stereotypical stay up like a really long time? Were you paranoid? Like, give me how you felt.
It was I was in the country, so again, not even wanting to give too much away, but I'd actually
yes, you want people to buy the book. I'm just give me
I'll give you a general idea. So I ended up not doing it in Colombia. I had met for reasons I'd messed up, ended up not doing it in Colombia and flew the next day to Panama. So I was in Panama.
Were you afraid of getting caught with it though?
No, I wasn't getting caught with it. It was I went to Medellin, where famously Pablo Escobar, and so I was walking around and I was going to do it. You know, that's the place where it made sense to do.
Yeah, but Pablo's cocaine was the best. Like, I mean, that's something to brag about. You know how people always like back in the day, I'm just thinking of like football, in your area. I'm trying to compare it to, but that's like seeing Ronaldo play for Manchester United back in the day. To be able to do some cocaine from Pablo Escobar is something to brag about, in my opinion.
So what I had thought. So it's sort of a popular thing to do. You can do a line off his grave.
That's badass. That is really badass.
But I just that ended up not sort of working out. But I done a bit of a walking tour and stood in the spot where he was eventually gone down and traveled about. Went back to my hostel. I decided not, and that was my last night. I decided I wasn't going to stay in a touristy area. I'd stay in the outskirts of the city. And so I stayed there, and if you've ever been to it, there is extreme poverty, and but it's a sort of poverty where the people don't look like people anymore. It looked like Night of the Living Dead.
Zombies almost, yeah.
Yeah,
now,
it was.
Okay, so you go to Colombia. What is your next country? Now, don't tell me the drug. I want to see if I can guess.
The next. It's very, very obvious. Okay, if you could just guess, it's the most obvious one. After that, I go to Amsterdam. And
all right, hash.
Yes.
Now, what is it? Explain to people what hash is, because a lot of people think it's like marijuana. I don't know. Like, explain hash.
Well, again, what I done was I had just an edible there, but hashish is where they take they turn the cannabis plant and they remove, I don't know, they put it through some process and turn it into an oil, and then they harden that oil. And
you're talking about wax then. I mean, we got wax here all the time. It's like doing a dab. Have you ever done a dab before?
I don't know what a dab is, no.
All right, so a dab is, okay, so basically this is the new rave in the United States is dabs, and they've been around for a while, but what they basically do is extract and take out nothing but the part of the cannabis that gets you high. It's just straight, like almost 100% THC. Okay. And then you use it on a bong, but instead of like putting it in the bowl or whatever, it has a little metal piece. Okay. That you heat up. Okay. You get, and it heats up electrically, or some people use a blowtorch. It makes you almost think you're about to smoke crack cocaine, but you're not. It's marijuana. And then you take the wax on this little stick, and then you put it down in the heated part, and it kind of vaporizes it, and you are getting nothing but 100% THC. You're not getting any of the byproduct. It's just straight. No, you're on the runway, no waiting, and you're already taking off as soon as you hit it. Like, I'm serious. It's a rush. The first time that I took a dab, like, I got sweaty. My heart started beating fast. And that's and a lot of people are like, why? But it's just so intense.
Yeah. Well, that would have been my experience with I had an edible. I had a space kick. So it was I'd never done it before. The sort of thing you might only take like a single bite out of it. I end up taking the full thing. Like a real fucking amateur move.
Buck, if you want to ever come to the United States, I will get you in front of some of the see, that's the other thing. Here in Florida, where I'm at, our drug. Now, if you were going state, see, that's the other thing. I may rip off your idea, go state to state, because drugs are a state to state thing here in the United States. Here in Florida, the big one. Well, it was battling back and forth. Pain pills and methamphetamines here in the state of Florida.
No, I think I avoided both of those.
Yeah, I know. I am just making jokes, and I'm not saying you would. So in Amsterdam, now, while you were in Amsterdam and you enjoyed some of the hash, did you take advantage of going to the red light district and meeting some of the ladies?
Oh no, I was there with the lady, so she She would not
what
have.
does that mean, man? What is she? She paid for your cocaine in Colombia.
Oh no,
She might want to just sit.
This was a
She might
different
want
lady.
to. Oh, see, God, man, you are such a pimp now. Like, you're just taking new ladies out here. So, I mean, how badass would that have been? And she was like, "All right, Buck, pick out a lady in the window. I'm just gonna sit in the corner and I'm just gonna watch you because I want to see what it looks like when you're hammering me."
Yeah. If you knew her, no, that would not have been something she would have been up for. Definitely would not have been something she would have been up
I'm just
for.
throwing it out there. So from Amsterdam, give me the next country. Once again, do not tell me what the drug is, and I want to see if I can be able to guess.
Okay. I went to Germany.
Ooh. Ecstasy.
No. No.
Man, fuck me. What is Germany?
This is gonna be difficult for you because you're not going to consider it a drug.
See, if you would have said,
I went in October. I went to Germany in October.
Oh, Oktoberfest then.
Yes.
You know what though? No. You know what though? You're right. I'm so off. You know that I am a recovering alcoholic. I haven't drank in a year and a half. Okay. And I've gotten in the best shape. This is the best that I've ever done physically and mentally in my life. And I had a big wake up call. You know, here in the United States, you know, we have amendments here.
Yeah.
Part of our Bill of Rights, Constitution, all that good stuff. That there's only been one amendment that's ever been changed in the history of the United States, and that is prohibition.
Yeah.
You know, they got rid of alcohol, and then they created another problem, which was the mafia.
Yeah.
Organized crime, okay? And then they reversed it. Like, hold up. All right. So, but now, okay. So the amount of money that like marijuana is making in our country right now could help out our country tremendously when it comes to taxes. Okay. And the reason why that's not happening is because big tobacco, big alcohol here, they know that's another big swinging dick on the market that's going to come in, and people are going to want to smoke weed than drink booze or smoke cigarettes. But cigarettes and alcohol are killing way more people than anything that marijuana could ever come close to, in my opinion. I don't know.
No, that's definitely right. Yeah.
So how was October?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Oktoberfest. Well, I went on what we refer to as a stag do, what you'd call a bachelor party.
Bunch of dudes. Sausage party.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So went out, had my full lederhosen, ended up losing the because what if you go on an Irish stag do, what essentially happens is, regardless of where you go in the entire world, it does not matter what you do, is you go to an Irish bar, and then you stay there and you don't go anywhere else.
Yeah,
that's just what happens.
Man, I gotta tell you, here, because I'm in Central Florida, Orlando's not that far away here. Lots of Irish pubs in Orlando, because the Brits, just people from the United Kingdom alone love coming to Central Florida, and there are so many Irish pubs there, and I love them. They have a what is the place called? Fiddler's Green. There was an Irish pub. I know there was probably a Fiddler's Green in Ireland, but that is the most authentic. They do the it's not clogging, because I know that's another country, but they do the dancing
Irish
on
dancing,
the wood.
yeah.
Yes, yeah. Dude, I would go there all the time when I was married, and it was such a great time, and it's just the experience being at an Irish pub like that. And I agree with you. Why would you want to go anywhere else?
Well, for me, for the purposes of I had to go to I want to go to the actual festival. I want to be around Germans and have the Steiners. I want to do the whole thing, get immersed. So
How
I
big
ended
is
up-
how big is a mug? Because you always see those big mugs and everything. Do you know like
Is
the
there,
ounces?
is there a liter? What's
A
that?
liter, yeah. I'm on a different
Yeah,
measuring
you're
system
on.
than you.
I don't know how much.
You guys are metric, I think.
Well, no, well again for it different things.
Yeah.
So we'd still refer to
But
it
they're
as a
big
pint.
beers, just to say the
Yes,
least.
it's two.
And what is the alcohol content on those? Are they strong beers or?
I think they're. No, I don't think they're any particularly stronger than any other normal. I think they're just fairly typical. What is beer, like 5%? Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
right.
I'd say it's something similar to that.
All right, so I get it. Alcohol is a drug. Let's move on to the next. I got to hear the next country.
So I'm trying to remember in my head what was the next one.
I mean, it doesn't have to be.
Wait a second. No. The next. No. I had to remember the next. The next one was. This could be a little bit difficult. So I went to England, and I went to Stonehenge.
Acid?
No, not yet. Not an acid yet. It was mushrooms.
What? Mushrooms. Now, they're actually legalizing in a lot of places here in the United States mushrooms. A lot of people are microdosing right now.
Yeah.
But you would think that type of place would be good for the growth of mushrooms. Dark, damp. You're going to get some pretty good stuff. How was that? Now, I have never done that type of stuff like acid or mushrooms or anything, because I've dealt with mental issues all my life, and a lot of people did not recommend it.
Yeah.
What was your experience like?
So my experience, I had the mushroom that grows wild around here in England is called the Liberty Cap.
Does
mushroom.
It go? It's here in the States. Everybody looks for the ones that grow in the cow manure, like
yes,
the poop.
same ones.
Same thing. Okay, all right, cool.
So they're a Liberty Cap mushroom. The active ingredient is psilocybin.
Mm-hmm.
But I managed through being extremely, extremely lucky. So I went to Stonehenge during winter solstice. So
that had to blow your mind.
It was maybe one of the best experiences of my life.
Now, did you freak out? Did you see anything that scared you, or was it just cool lights, colors, stuff like that?
What I tend to find myself is I tend to find myself getting very introspective and sort of just sort of sitting quietly in my own head thinking about things. And
now, was a new chick with you? Was a new chick with you on this one?
No, because this one I was by myself. I just made some new friends. I actually made friends with an Australian a girl called Molly. She was an Australian soldier, and a girl called Eleanor who was a witch, and she was in full witch costume.
I am so jealous to hang out now. All right, so who was the soldier? That was an Australian soldier.
She was an Australian soldier called Molly.
Okay. So dude. So you're hanging out with an Australian soldier named Molly, which you're on a drug tour already. Yeah. And you got a chick that is a soldier from Australia named Molly, and then you have a witch, like a Wiccan.
Eleanor the Wiccan, yeah. And she's in full hat, full costume.
Like the pointy hat. She didn't have a broom or anything on her, did she?
She did everything but the broom.
Okay.
Everything but the broom.
Did you score with both of those? Because
I scored with at this stage I was in a relationship, so no, I didn't score with either.
Okay, explain that. If you're in a relationship, how does the chick that you're in the relationship give you the A-OK? Hey, Buck, go take all the drugs you want in other countries and stuff. Like, how do you sell that to somebody you're in a relationship with?
In my acknowledgements, because I'd started it just as before we met. I went on my first trip a few days before we met each other. So she was aware this was going to be a thing and this was what I'm going to be doing. So I think she'd she just sort of accepted that was going to be a thing. Yeah, she was a bit pissed off at times.
Are you still with her?
I'm working on it.
Oh, so she did get a little mad then.
I was like,
something else happened.
Things. There were some other bits and pieces happened.
Oh, you met somebody at like St. Patrick's Day, and you're like, hey, do you want to help drive out the snake out of my pants? Like, what? Yeah, I mean, come on, yeah. So. I'm sorry. I'm
no,
horrible. And I say a lot of corny American morning zoo type jokes, so I apologize about that. But all right. So the last place. So you went to England. What does that make? Number 5, I think.
That's number. I was number 4.
I was number 4. Okay. So next country. Yeah.
I go to the US of A, and I go to the San Francisco.
Oh. Okay, well, all right. Now I know San Francisco, and listen, I support gay rights more than anybody. Like I've done more than, but listen, no, hear me out. I'm going because I'm thinking San Francisco. I'm thinking gay-related drugs. So it's either okay. I'm not going with anything yet. So do not say anything. Ecstasy, GHB, or poppers.
No. LSD.
Oh, LSD. I didn't wait.
Heart of the hippie movement. Heart of the hippie movement.
I can see that. Do you know what poppers are?
I'm aware of what poppers are.
Okay, all right. I mean that's related to the gay, lesbian, LGBTQ, party. And I'm not saying anything bad, but I mean it's there. There's stereotypes. There are stereotypes for a reason.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say. So LSD, how is that any different than the mushrooms though?
This is a good point because with a lot of these things, what really matters is so the drug is one portion of it, but also there is your environment. And there is your current state of mind and all of these
setting
things.
though? Does the setting
part? Yeah.
The setting, certainly. Like I agree. Like I remember the first time I took ecstasy. Okay, I was on a beach, hearing the ocean, the breeze coming in, seeing the sunrise. I mean, it just all accumulated into just an overall great experience. Plus, it didn't help. I mean, it also helped that I had a chick like massaging my back and doing all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it is about this setting. I really do think it is.
Mm-hmm. It plays an enormous part of it. But would you be aware of the human being? As far as pronounced, the human being conference. So it was a huge, massive hippie festival. The Grateful Dead were there.
Oh, okay.
Janis Joplin performed.
How old of a dude are you, though? Like, for real? I mean, just being honest. I mean, are you talking about in the past in San Francisco?
This was. So the hippie movement.
Really I know about. Trust me.
You know about all of it.
Yeah, I know all about the hippie movement and everything. Yeah, I know all about that. I didn't realize that LSD was related to San Francisco. Now, let me ask you though. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So mushrooms are more natural, okay? LSD is more synthetic, correct?
Yeah, so LSD comes from, there's a type of mold that grows on wheat, and it's taken off that there, and it's synthesized from that there, and they take it.
And you do realize here in the United States, people die every day from mold that is in their house, but people are like, hell yeah, I don't care how many people it kills. I'm ready to do some mold.
I think they've treated it pretty well at this point. I think it's pretty far away from mold by the time it comes to your bit of toilet paper or whatever it's on. So what actually had happened was I was acutely aware of something called Bicycle Day. And so I stuck into Google, as you do, Bicycle Day, and the first thing that came up was Bicycle Day San Francisco. Now, Bicycle Day was the creator of LSD. He came up with it by accident. dropped some of it on his finger. Began to feel sick. Went home and had this massive hallucination. A couple of days later, he went back into work, and then purposely put some LSD in his mouth, and then rode home on his bicycle. And that day was the 19th of April, and that day became Bicycle Day. So I typed in Bicycle Day, and the first suggestion in Google was Bicycle Day San Francisco, because they were having a concert at I can't remember the name of it.
I mean, it's not.
The Warfield.
Yeah. I've heard of it there, but so LSD. Now, what were all right? So they're both hallucinogens.
Psychedelics.
Yeah. So psychedelics. What were the difference? Like, give me an example of a difference between the LSD and the mushrooms.
Again, there was largely under different. So when I was sitting again, this is the thing. It was very different environments.
All right, so did one leave you hung over more than the other? What I'm saying?
No, I never. The reality is, I never took enough of anything to have any like major.
Oh, so you microdosed on everything?
Not so much micro. No, because microdose is just like a tiny amount every day. I took once. I didn't mix it with anything.
Okay, I got you.
Had it in midday, and then went for a walk around the park, and it was again with another woman, and we had
dude, you must have a humongous penis, like for real, like with all the different women. Like, I swear to God, you might. What is the slang term for penis in Ireland?
No, I think we have all the same ones as you. I
mean, you guys use like cock, like you guys use cock. All right, in the UK, one of the things that I love the most, it's not accepted here in the United States, but the word cunt.
Oh, I love the word cunt.
Yeah,
I say the word. So we use them. So actually, in the book, I had like American friends read it before I released it, and there's a portion of it where at the stag do, a friend is very drunk, and when he's drunk, he likes to tell me, how much he likes me, but then he always reminds me that he likes he likes my brothers more than me. So he'll be like, I like you, Buck. I love you. You're a great fella. You're great. You see your brother Tony. He's a funny wee cunt. Jeez, he's a funny wee cunt. He's the funniest wee cunt I know. And he'd start laughing and laughing. And the Americans that I sent this to, so cunt, dude, it's a term of endearment here.
Oh, in the UK it is. Like, you're right, man, because like the maddest my wife when I was married got mad at me because, we were at a radio station event and we had a table reserved, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And my name is on the table. My name is on the table, okay? And this woman was just sitting at the table the whole time, okay? And I said, hey, this is my name. This table's reserved. And she got very combative. And the word cunt is like a grenade. Like, it ends, it either ends the conversation or it escalates it, where the man that the girl that that they're with wants to defend her honor. But women get so offended, and in the UK, it is a term of endearment, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, all right, go ahead. Sorry.
No, just I've lived in Australia for a while, and it's the joke is there. It's in Australia, you call people you don't know mate, and you call your friends cunt. And so that's how you know you're in with people. If someone shouts over to you, hey, cunt, you know that, all right, we're friends now. I'm in.
Yeah, I gotta get you in touch of a guy that I interviewed last week, Bing Fraser. Do you know who he is?
Who is he?
Bing Fraser. He is a great guy that I interviewed a couple weeks ago, and he's in Sydney, and he's one of those guys that gets out there, does adventurous things, and I need to get you guys in touch with each other.
Oh, definitely.
All right, so let's move on to the last country here.
The last one is, and I'm pretty sure you would be aware of it, Ibiza.
Ibiza. Oh, so now Ibiza is the island, right? That a lot of the UK people go to for holiday, correct?
Yes.
And I got that right, correct? Like
Correct.
You guys don't call you don't call it vacations, you call it holiday, right?
Holidays, yeah.
All right. So now that's got to be ecstasy because of the partying and the DJs. I know they have that big like electronic festival there. So it's got to be ecstasy.
Correct. Ecstasy.
All right. So now I will talk about this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The first time I tried ecstasy was because of a chick. It was. Now, the first time I tried it. Now, with any drug, it's never better than the first time you tried it. Like the first time you try a drug, it's always going to be the best. And nothing is more true when it comes to ecstasy. And I tried it. It was amazing. But it's one of those drugs that you cannot just do casually. You just cannot do ecstasy casually. No, it's am I being? You just can't do it casually.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
it's a certain thing as well. Because I've had friends who have done it in their bed, in their living room with other friends, and they just sort of sit there and touch each other's faces. Whereas if you do it in a nightclub, it's a wholly different experience.
Yeah, the music, the sound, people don't realize it. The visuals, because they have a lot of flashing lights. Not a lot of people know this. When you do ecstasy, your pupils become dilated, and bright lights just kind of hit a little bit harder than they do when you're not on ecstasy.
Oh,
now, go ahead.
No, it's a very extreme experience. There was a portion of it. It's because I've heard dance music before. I've heard it a million times before, but you don't really understand dance music until you've listened to
on it.
What
oh my god!
Because it's designed. Dance music has been designed to be listened to while on ecstasy. So whenever you hear like low bassy noises,
and it hits you in your chest,
it goes through your bones.
You can feel that rumble in your chest, and when you're rolling on some ecstasy, there is nothing better than that. Like seriously, I tell people I'm trying to run a business here, so I really don't want to go into everything that I've done and that I'm not proud of, but I've been to raves, and I got to tell you, what you don't see at raves. You don't see fights.
No.
You don't see people arguing with each other. It's really, really weird. I know it's not great for you. And I think probably and most likely it has a problem with my depression because I did it a lot in my early 20s. And it messed up my serotonin and all that stuff. So I think maybe that kind of led to it. Who knows? Maybe I was but I also went through a lot when I was younger. So, who really, really knows? That's the thing about drugs, okay? People do them to self-medicate.
Yes. That is actually a portion of the book as well.
And I'm all right. Yeah, go ahead. Please explain that because I'm guilty of it because I think we don't take mental illness as serious as we should, and all throughout the world. And people,
I don't think we understand it that well. I think it's just sort of the reality. We are. Well, I'll just say. So I was like dealing with the breakup the whole way through. Through writing this book.
You want to get rid of the pain.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, and I realized that I was medicating in a portion. I was like looking for these little escapes, looking for sort of these breaks in the pain and stuff like that. And of course it has and these are and while on LSD, and I'll not get into the story, but the story is, it was one of the like best experiences of my life because of who I was with and what she was going through at the time and how it connected in with my breakup. And it was like it was a very extreme experience, and it was one of these experiences that, because what the LSD does is it makes you feel connected. It makes you feel that there is like
so does ecstasy though. MDMA
in a very different way. Very different way. So with ecstasy, it's you're very touchy feely. You're like, it's a very raw, emotional thing. With LSD, you leave yourself. It is you're fit to maybe deal with traumas, deal with hurt, because you're away from them. You don't feel that they're your problems or it's not your scarred tissue anymore. And so you're fit to like talk through it and think through it a little bit more. And
now,
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead and finish, because I'm getting the wrap up from my producer and stuff, and I just want to because, dude, I find you fascinating, and that's the thing about it. That's the thing about a lot of these interviews that I've been doing. I meet a lot of new friends that I want to be connected to, and you're one of those people. Like I'm being honest. Like, I mean, you're a really good dude. I think what you did was great going out there. I know a lot of people would want to judge you and stuff, but that's not the case. I mean, I think this is great. I think a lot of people can learn from it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the book also has a theme running through it where I'm arguing for the legalization and regulation for evidence-based policy. It's also deals with
criminalization, decriminalization of drugs. I mean, you got to go after the dealers. You don't have to go after the people that are buying it. I know those people. I mean, once again, they're most likely people that are dealing with mental illness and stuff that are just trying to self-medicate. And what good does it do? They're not like distributing. They're buying for own personal use and stuff. And I don't think people should be like thrown in jail for 2 or 3 years. I mean, it makes no sense at all.
No, yeah, it's totally clear. It's you take Pablo Escobar was on the Forbes rich list. Now, do
you realize what he did? Do you realize what Pablo Escobar did for the community there? Yeah, I mean, he killed a lot of people, but created parks, soccer fields, all that stuff for people to be able to play. And I'm sorry I cut you off, but yes, the cigarette companies. I mean, it's crazy.
It is. But the thing is with the cigarette companies, for the death and just, the deaths that they cause, they're not butchering people. They're not running death squads. They're not blowing up anything. Towards the end, when Pablo was having all the extra pressure put on him, I think it was.
I gotta stop you there though, man. Like you don't find it a problem that the tobacco companies try to replace the people that they're already killing with younger.
Oh yeah.
Younger people.
They're genuine. Oh, this is the thing. Yeah, they're horrifying. They're actively targeting children in the third world. So the tobacco companies are putting billboards up outside schools to actively target children in the third world and these these developing economies. These are bad people and they have an addictive, harmful product. But the same thing is, the cigarette companies aren't decapitating people. They aren't killing bus fulls of students. They aren't.
Okay, but isn't death though? I mean, I don't care. I don't. But I don't care how many people the cartel people. It will not even. It's a comparison of night and day. Tobacco companies have killed. And listen, I dip smokeless tobacco. Like I don't know if you guys have that in Ireland, where you like the snuff, snorting up your nose or putting it in your lip and stuff. I do that every once in a while, and I know the risk. But the tobacco companies have killed 100% more than anything that the cartels could ever do.
Here's the thing, though. Mexico is there's a real possibility that in our lifetime Mexico becomes a cartel state. The cartels will literally topple a country. The cigarette companies, while the cigarette companies are extremely wealthy and influential, they're not going to topple countries.
And guess what? Guess what? If they become a cartel country and they want to like step up to the great United States of America, I know our fighting forces, you know, all those guys, they want to act big and bad, and they want to. It's all show. I mean, killing somebody with a bullet straight to the head is just the same as like cutting their head off or filleting the skin off their face or whatever it may be. But our fighting forces here in the United States will basically bend them over and go in dry. And if you know what, I don't know if the Irish know what it means by going in dry.
I'm aware of what.
Yes, no lube. No lube. Our Marines will like basically go in dry on the cartel, and they would wish that they were just, and that's the other thing. Most of the people they're decapitating are rival gangs. So aren't they kind of taking care of each other?
It's the issue is, right, once you have a failed state, once there is a refugee crisis caused by that failed state, once there is people aren't fit to get water, aren't fit to get food, once they're getting desperate, I mean, you're going to have like a massive refugee, or you already do have a refugee crisis in South America heading into North America. But how much worse would that be if it was Mexico that failed?
Yeah, no, it would be. It would be. It definitely would be. Now, Buck, before I let you go, let people once again know where they can find your book. Check out any of your other content. Where can they find that at?
If you just go into Amazon or wherever you buy books online and look for Adventures on Drugs.
Are you doing a book on tape?
I'm going to. I have to start. I've self-published everything. This is all me.
But your voice, your accent. Oh man, people, I think it would be great, man. It would be amazing.
So so I'm going to start hopefully this weekend. Start setting up the audiobook recording. So I'm waiting to get my physical copy because the book is only out a week. So I still haven't got my physical copy yet. When
you're ready to come to Florida and try some Oxycontin or some pain pills or some methamphetamine, no, seriously, let me
mix
know.
It all up.
No,
crush it up, put in the eye.
Oh, fentanyl. You got to get the fentanyl is the one thing that is killing everybody in Florida here. Yeah. Now, listen, Buck, I could sit here and talk to you forever, but I got to get off. Buck, let's keep in touch, man. Seriously, I think you're a very amazing and interesting person, and I want to keep in touch with you, okay?
Oh, definitely. Well, thank you for having me on. And
I'll talk to you. Can I get if you start a podcast, get Kill Bill Volume 2 or Volume 1, I don't know. But as soon as I think of Buck, I think from that quote. Remember Uma Thurman was in a coma. My name is Buck and I like to fuck. Yeah, that's it. That you gotta grab that one. So, all right, Buck, have a good one, man. I appreciate the interview.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
From the Vapor Shades Hobo Fish Camp.
Man, maybe I would have way more sex partners in my life if I just threw caution to the wind.
It's the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Tuddle's Daily Podcast is brought to you by StitchYouUp.com. For your embroidery, screen printing, vinyl, and direct-to-garment printing needs, visit StitchYouUp.com. Stitch You Up specializes in custom caps, shirts, decals, and anything you want to personalize. Whether it's one item or large orders, they can handle any size. Unsure about what you want? Let Stitch You Up help you with your logo design. Visit StitchYouUp.com or contact them, Eric at StitchYouUp.com. Stitch You Up. Definitely not your grandma's embroidery. Nerd. Radio personality and hot talk satirizer. You're listening to the Tuddle Podcast.
Welcome back, guys. Last segment of the show. But before I go, I got a quick piece of audio that I want to play for you. In this country, we have different dialects. I love accents. Like I just talked to Buck. I loved hearing his Irish accent. Actually, I had to stop him a couple of times because it got so thick. I knew that my audience would not be able to understand what was going on. But, like, for example, some people say pecan. Some people say pecan. Some people say tomato. It's just different. Caramel or caramel. But this guy, I think, is either a French chef or like a Creole chef. But the way that this guy says onion is funny as hell.
We dice an onion. Big onion. Look at that. Woo! To the good onion. Good onion is a heavy onion. This is a 6-pound onion. It's also an onion where the onion is put. This is the tip of the onion. The onion is not the knife around the onion. Remove the pepper skin of the onion. Dice an onion. Cut the onion in half on the onion. Then the onion with onion right here. Onion.
I'm always looking for like man on the street stuff. But, like, the next time I go to a burger joint and I want no onion, I want to see how long it... yes, I want a hamburger, pickles, ketchup, mustard, and no onion. Can you repeat? I don't want any onions on my burger. Yeah, sir, what the fuck are you talking? Onion! How can you not understand I don't want any onions on my burger? Oh, onion. Okay, sir. Yes, pull around. And then probably when I check the bag when I get home, they got goddamn onions on my burger. They fucked it up and put onions on it. All right. I know that was kind of morning zooish, but I think it would be funny. I'm going to go out and see if I can troll some fast food workers by asking for no onions on my burger or any of my food. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I'll be back tomorrow. Do not forget, tonight, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. on my YouTube channel, I'll be doing a live stream. That's youtube.com/Tuddle.
And that's the show for today. Thanks for listening to the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Hey, don't be a dickhead. Do us a favor. Like, share, and subscribe to the show. Also, check out the Tuddle category at 315live.com. The Tuddle Daily Podcast is brought to you by the Vapor Shades Hobo Fish Camp. Do you want some cool-ass sunglasses? Check out vaporshades.com. Also brought to you by Starfire Transport, StitchYouUp.com, PocketPairClub.com. Special thanks to show intern Hannah and Charlie Alamo for their contributions. Additional imaging and production is provided by CCA Productions. Facebook.com/CCA Productions Presents. Show voiceover service is brought to you by jcvoiceover.com. That guy's got a damn sexy voice. You should hire him. Check out jcvoiceover.com. If you want to help support the show, go to paypal.me/TuddleOnTheRadio. Comments? Concerns? Or do you just want to let Tuddle know he's being a dickhead? Tuddle@gmail.com. That's Tuddle with 2 Ds at gmail.com. Leave a voicemail at 407-270-3044. To follow all of Tuddle's social media, go to Tuddle.net. Thanks again for all your support, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
Hey, yo, Terry, what going on?